Fans Beyond Wrestling, this is Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place. We've got an episode of All Killer on tap featuring all matches from the second St. Louis Sleeper Cell taping. We're going to be starting things off with a Beyond Wrestling signature, the four-way, one fall to a finish, as we've got Brandon Espinosa versus Alex Castle versus Jeff O'Shea versus Mallaki Matthews. Mallaki in the yellow long trunks sent to the floor, as is Alex Castle in the long brown trunks, leaving Brandon Espinosa in the black trunks and Jeff O'Shea in the blue trunks in the ring. Jeff O'Shea tripping up his opponent and kicking Espinosa on the side of the head. Trying to keep him in position right here instead of going for the pin. Espinosa sits up, gets met with a kick for his troubles. Now we see O'Shea with that snap elbow. But Espinosa quick to roll to the ropes where he cannot be pinned. Here comes Mallaki, tripping up O'Shea, caught him on the point of the jaw with that sliding D. Before he can capitalize, here comes Alex Castle. Caught him hard with that soul butt. He's got his opponent doubled over, kicked him on the side of the head. And the uncle slam to finish off the sequence. Alex Castle turns right around into that standing Uranagi from Brandon Espinosa. Here comes the first fall of the match. The pinfall attempt only good for a 2. And Alex Castle unable to get to the ropes as his opponents have. And it looks like Espinosa is going to be looking to connect with a third knee drop. Finally able to roll out of the way, perhaps to safety, if not just for the time being. Jeff O'Shea kicking Brandon Espinosa on the side of the head, signaling up to that top turnbuckle, but he's taking too much time as he's telegraphing it. You see Alex Castle trying to recover in the corner. Now Mallaki has picked his spot. Crouching up Jeff O'Shea on that top turnbuckle. All the other wrestlers standing ringside and watching. Looked for a second as though Espinosa was going to be attacking Mallaki, instead partnering with him to try and take it to Jeff O'Shea. They've got to both hook for a suplex, but here comes Alex Castle. He's got all his opponents hooked. And that's a bad landing for 3 of the guys. Alex Castle made out okay. You're going to remember in these matches, one fall to a finish. Mallaki there to break it up. The person that's able to pick up the pinfall is also going to score 3 points. Every other person in this matchup, whether or not they're involved in the decision, is going to lose a point. So a lot at stake here. Perhaps that's why these guys are laying it all on the line. This match only about 2 minutes old. And it seems like knockout shot after knockout shot. And that might have been it right there from Mallaki. The flying knee to the side of the head. Quick to get over to the pin. Got the leg hooked. But Alex Castle in there to break it up. As we approach the 3-minute mark, these guys are spent. One of the most frenetic four-ways we've ever seen in Beyond Wrestling. And now Mallaki, this is his best opportunity. He just cannot get over to pin his opponent. Castle continuing to roll to the ropes. And instead, Mallaki get back up to his feet in the corner. Able to get the boot up. Trying to elevate himself up on that top rope. So Shea comes charging in again. This time he catches the boot, brings his opponent off the top rope, and dumps him on the back of his head. The impact on the pin, what a display of strength! But Espinosa's in there to break it up. Espinosa now trying to bring O'Shea back up to his feet. That could have been a mistake. He had his opponent down on the mat. But Espinosa able to get underneath O'Shea. Drives him down with that brain buster. And now he's got a sight set on Alex Castle. Perhaps looking for another brain buster. Instead, take it down with that ace crusher. Castle's got the leg hooked. And Castle picks up the victory in one of the fastest four-ways that we have ever seen in Beyond Wrestling. Castle really making a name for himself in these multi-man matches. Barely able to catch my breath from that four-way as we move on to the next match. But one of the top prospects in the St. Louis Sleeper Cell in Zakk Sawyers in the red and black trunks. He's going to be going one-on-one with one of the top prospects in the entire Midwest in the black and pink trunks in Matt Cage. These two shake hands, sign of respect to start things off. Hopefully that means that neither of these competitors will be taking any shortcuts in this match, especially with all of their peers who are on ringside. That really doesn't do them any favors. You're here to not only defeat your opponent, but earn the respect of your peers to try and build your network. Even though Zakk Sawyers was able to bring Matt Cage to the corner, we did see that clean break. I think that Sawyers perhaps a little jittery coming into this match, giving up some serious experience to Matt Cage, a graduate of the WWA 4 Academy, who we saw in that incredible bout from the St. Louis Sleeper Cell pilot taping against Jonathan Gresham. Matt Cage just trying to lay on top of his opponent, perhaps looking for an easy victory. We saw Sawyers able to use that momentum to roll Matt Cage onto his shoulders, but now they're back up to that vertical base where neither man can be pinned. Cage in the ropes once again. And this time it looked as though Sawyers, a moment of hesitation before looking to strike, and that cost him. One thing that Sawyers needs to avoid doing is going strike for strike with Matt Cage. Sawyers sending Cage face first into that buckle. He's got to be more aggressive if he wants to pick up the victory. Matt Cage tries to go to the opposite corner, able to reverse the positioning and just sending those shockwaves through the body of Zakk Sawyers with that chop to the chest. But Sawyers relying on his speed, able to get out of the way, and that's what he's going to need to do. Stay one step ahead of Matt Cage, who's very quick in his own right. Sent him across the ring, came charging in with that forearm, snapmared him down to the mat. Great combination. But again, I question if he's taking perhaps too much time, trying to showboat the other wrestlers. And yeah, that slingshot senton right on the knees of his opponent. Not doing him any favors. Cage coming off the ropes, misses with the clothesline. Sawyers, though, nice recovery. Able to connect with that drop kick. Leg is hooked. Only good for a 2 count. As Sawyers perhaps planning his next attack, Cage rolls over to the corner. He's safe from being pinned there, but not safe from that attack, being elevated and driven down. Variation of a powerbomb. As Sawyers continues this onslaught. I'm a bit surprised to see Sawyers having the advantage in the early go. Brings Cage back up to his feet just to reposition him with that snapmare. Caught him with that 1-foot drop kick right in the spine. Perhaps Sawyers really might have caught Matt Cage with one of those elbows at the start of this contest. Hey, any one of these shots a potential knockout blow. Perhaps Matt Cage is fighting an uphill battle, trying to shake the cobwebs. Came charging in just a step behind. Got caught with that elbow. And there you see Sawyers getting the boot up as well. But Sawyers taking just a little too much time right there. Driven off that second rope right in the back of his head. And Sawyers trying to bring himself back up to his feet by grabbing onto the official. Cage uses that opportunity to attack him from behind. Perhaps that's a can of worms that wouldn't have been open if Sawyers didn't attempt that cheap shot on Cage earlier in the match. Cage, look at that. As he snapmares his opponent down, got his knee in front of his opponent's face. An awkward landing for Zakk Sawyers, then just kicked him in the head as well. That combination only good for a near fall as he brings him back up to his feet. Caught him with that elbow, and again, just bring him in position, and now raking the face of his opponent with the soles of his boots. A bit disrespectful, but I'll tell you what, when you're experiencing pain like that, it's going to be very difficult to concentrate on your strategy. Now we see Cage with that cravat applied, a knee, and a clubbing blow. Now a series of knee strikes. Sawyers just crumpling into a heap of himself on the canvas. Now Cage having his way with him. You know, I gotta say though, Sawyers was really taking his time when he was in control. I have to fault Cage for doing the exact same thing right here. Got a handful of hair, the official's gonna check on that. Sawyers finding his second win, driving Cage into the buckle. A series of elbows, sends him from pillar to post. Sawyers able to get the, oh no, he got caught with that Cage combination. His leg was kicked out from underneath him. He caught the knee to the face and turned inside out with that clothesline. Looked like Cage lured him into that trap when he went for that boot in the corner, and Sawyers caught it. That's where Matt Cage is so dangerous when he's able to string together those combinations with those strikes. So how resilient Sawyers is, though, as he tried to pie face Cage. I don't think Cage took to that too kindly. He almost took his head off with that European uppercut. Now again, he's got him in that clinch. This might be the worst part of the strategy of a striker. Every time you knock your opponent down, you have to bring them back up to their feet to try and connect on the head. It's very hard to connect otherwise, and every time he brings his opponent back up to his feet, it's an opportunity for Sawyer to try and find offense like that, springboarding himself off that bottom rope, connect with that tornado DDT, but he can't capitalize. Now trying to feed off the energy of the other wrestlers around ringside. Again, who know what Matt Cage is capable of, but are really seeing Sawyers test himself right here. Perhaps one of the biggest matches of his entire career. He was holding his head, unfortunately covering his own eyes, did not see that chop or that chop coming. Able to duck out of the way. The third connects with that John Woo drop kick. Nowhere to go but the buckles. An elbow, a snapmare, and perhaps now once again looking for that flipping senton. Just crushed his opponent with that. Cage clutching his chest. Goes for the kick, it gets caught. Sent face first in the canvas. Oh, kicked right in the face. Is that the knockout shot he was looking for? No. You hear the other wrestlers telling Sawyer, you gotta stay on him. Again, win, lose, or draw, this is gonna be an incredible experience for the youngster. One of the type of matches that he's gonna be able to go back and watch and learn from. But he can't afford to make mistakes like that. He cannot allow Matt Cage too many openings. And there we saw Cage, that 1 foot to the side of the head. Now Sawyers needs to extricate himself because he is placed precariously on those ropes. Well, unable to do so. Looked like at first Cage was going to try and send him to the floor, but instead I think he wants to position him on that top buckle, perhaps going to be taking him overhead with that superplex. The official urging both of these competitors to get off the top rope. Matt Cage got tunnel vision. He was knocked off that second rope once. But now after a series of headbutts, can he send Sawyers toppling overhead? Sawyers holding on. Oh, caught him with that elbow. Matt Cage stumbling around, trying to get back up to his feet. Turned right around into that flying crossbody to the impact into the pin. Even with no wasted motion, Matt Cage is able to kick out. Wow! What a counter out of Zakk Sawyers. Caught the attempted strike, brought him down to that crusher, went for the low super kick. It was a crusher that ended the four-way. It's not going to end this match. Matt Cage proving just how tough he is. Zakk Sawyers questioning whether or not that was a 2 or 3 count. It was a 3 count in this, it was a 2 count, and as a result, this match will continue. Matt Cage, smart to get over the apron where he can't be pinned, but perhaps he has put himself in a more dangerous position. Now Sawyers and Cage fighting for leverage, jockeying for position. Sawyers slipped right there, and that might have cost him. Oh yeah, got kicked right in the chest. His face collided with that top buckle, and the knee to the back of the head. And now taking him down with that zigzag. Matt Cage, instead of taking the time to bring his opponent to the center of the ring, went right for the pin, and that cost him right there. Sawyers able to get his leg to the ropes. This match will continue. Very telling, though, did not have enough energy to kick out on his own accord. Could not expend the energy. Now as he goes over the apron, trying to elevate himself off that bottom rope once again with that DDT. Cage reversing the position and driving him down with that variation of a neck break right on top of his head. Both of these competitors have absorbed a number of blows to the head, perhaps the most effective being that Shining Wizard. And Sawyers, even with that glazed look on his eye, still kicking out, perhaps on instinct alone. Perhaps we're seeing a veteran maneuver out of the rookie. And now we're really starting to understand why Zakk Sawyers is considered to be one of the top prospects coming out of the St. Louis sleeper cell. With that said, he's still in a lot of trouble right here as Cage sizes him up. Able to avoid contact though, rebounding off the ropes. Gets out of the way of the clothesline, going for that sunset flip. He's got him stacked up. Wow, Cage able to kick out somehow. That strike attempt, taking him over with a schoolboy. And now the inside cradle. I think the official might have been a little out of position right there. And every time that Cage goes for a strike attempt, It seems as though Sawyers has it scouted, but he did not have a counter for that. Swung him right around and punched him in the ear. Elevated him up on his shoulders. And go to slap. Is that going to be enough? 1, 2, no. Very, very close call. As you got to think this match is starting to wind down. Now Cage starting to get frustrated, but he cannot deviate from his strategy. Telling his opponent to stay down, but he brought it back up to his feet so he could connect with that elbow. Now the rolling elbow. Sawyers has a counter. Firing a few shots of his own. What a combination. He's got his opponent backed into a corner. Now putting the boots to him. Cage is going to absorb close to 25 shots in the last 10 seconds, and this onslaught is not stopping. What a combination out of Sawyers. And the rolling elbow. Sawyers, though, might have expended all of his energy doing that. He's got to get Cage to the center of the ring so that he can pin him. Oh, it looked like he was going for another powerbomb attempt, but instead, Cage caught him with that face breaker. And that's enough to pick up the victory. What a match out of Matt Cage and Zakk Sawyers. Fans Beyond Wrestling, it's main event time here. All Killer episode 24. So we've got the submission squad of Pierrie Abernathy and Gary J. This is their stomping grounds, St. Louis, the masterminds behind St. Louis Anarchy. We're going to be going 2-on-2. It's a tag team match against the very unusual Team IOU. Nick Iggy and Kerry Awful. Kerry Awful in the singlet and Nick Iggy in the trunks. Nick Iggy's the boy, Kerry Awful is the dog. I think. I don't quite understand the relationship that these two have with one another, but perhaps throughout the course of this match, I'll have a better understanding. I'm starting to become more acquainted with Team IOU as they continue to pop up throughout the sleeper cells across the country. Certainly looking forward to seeing more of their work here at Beyond Wrestling. Kerry Awful has got quite the mouth on him. It looks like he's going to be starting things off with Gary J. Gary J, perhaps most well known for his unmatched chopping ability. The hardest chopper in the world. Roderick Strong, eat your heart out. As Kerry Awful was trying to eat Gary J's butt, he might bite him. He wouldn't be above that. He wouldn't be beyond that. I've seen Kerry Awful bite a man on the butt. I don't think that Gary J wants that to happen to him. Team IOU really starting to come up in the ranks of the tag team scene on the indies. But the Submission Squad have been a well-oiled unit for years. Typically, you see Gary J as the third member of the Submission Squad with Pierrie Abernathy, often teaming with Evan Jalestico. Jalestico not in attendance today. Something tells me that Gary J and Pierrie Abernathy are still going to be able to work well together as a unit. And with experience on their side, it's going to be quite the test for Team IOU. Although I gotta say, that pin from Kerry Awful was quite delicious and unexpected. Kerry Awful continuing to jaw jack with Gary J. Now Pierrie Abernathy joining in. Wouldn't be surprised to see more shit talking than wrestling in this match. Well, there you have it. Gary J has a small peepee. At least according to Kerry Awful. Let's see how he can wrestle. Able to get behind him. Perhaps trying to take him down with that waist lock. Kerry Awful. He's got the size advantage, though. And now it's Gary J that bit Kerry Awful in the ass. But Kerry Awful just shaking it off and biting Gary J in the hand. This official's really got his hands full. Kerry Awful trying to dislocate the arm of Gary J. Now he's got that wrist lock applied, applying pressure on all the small bones in the hand. And now we see the trapezius hold from Gary J. Nick Iggy thinking about coming to the ring to save his partner. I don't know if Kerry Awful's going to tap out. This match is just getting underway. Kerry Awful's going to claw of his own. Come on, he slammed him with it. Risking disqualification, but certainly earning himself a fair share of fans in the other wrestlers is Kerry Awful. I think Gary J's had enough of Kerry Awful's antics. Here comes the largest competitor in this contest in Pierre Abernathy. Is Kerry Awful going to tag out to Nick Iggy? Kerry Awful. It's a very salty language, which Nick Iggy does not approve of. Kerry Awful is going to be looking to take it to Pierre Abernathy. Pierre caught him in the gut with that boot. Now looking to send him off the ropes. Oh! He bit him on the crotch, and there came Iggy with the super kick. There was a blind tag. Even I didn't see it. Team IOU staying one step ahead. Submission Squad, but now the Submission Squad, the blind tag of their own. And Nick Iggy, unprepared for this onslaught. A number of shots being fired away by Gary J and Pierre Abernathy. And now the signature strikes from Gary J. Those chest chops. Follows him in with that elbow, snapmare down, and kicked him in the back of the head. Leg is hooked. And that was smart of Gary J. He turned his attention to Kerry Awful. But Kerry Awful still came charged in. Gary J did not break the pin. But at least he saw where his opponent was. Now Nick Iggy, even in a vulnerable position, trying to fight back. Submission Squad shouting him down. Now Pierre Abernathy trying to distract the official. It backfired as Gary J chokes Iggy in the corner. Quick tags from the Submission Squad, proving why they're one of the most effective units in tag team wrestling. Gary J caught Kerry Awful sleeping on the apron, and Nick Iggy got caught that drop kick in the corner. Goes into the pin. Here's a reversal from Iggy to that crucifix. Gets back up to his feet, taken right down with that back elbow. Reaching out to his partner. And he's probably a good 7 or 8 feet away from his corner. Now we see the seated abdominal stretch from Gary J as he continues to try and wear down Nick Iggy. Iggy fighting back up to his feet, caught him with that jawbreaker. Gary J just takes him down with a chop. Iggy again looking over to his partner, who has his arm extended. Gary J looking to send Nick Iggy into a neutral corner. Iggy up and over, caught him with that lung blower, and Gary J landing on his head too. What a maneuver. Iggy's best opportunity to tag out, but is Gary J gonna get over to Pierre Abernathy first? Well, here comes Pierre Abernathy, but here comes Kerry Awful. Wow, caught him right on the top of the head with that palm strike. Now the double chop, the spinning back fist. He's got him by the beard, he punched him right underneath the jaw, clacking Gary J's teeth. That must have hurt like hell. A big swing and a miss though, now a reversal of position. Oh, holding onto the arm and booting him in the face. Is that the knockout blow he was looking for? Here comes Pierre Abernathy, we'll never find out. Kerry Awful sent face first into that steel cable. And now Nick Iggy trying to shake the cobwebs, trying to fight back to Pierre Abernathy. These two traded bombs in the center of the ring. And Pierre going to the eyes. Doesn't matter how much time you spend in the gym. There's certain points on the face that can always be exploited. And how about that, a Japanese arm drag into the corner? Unusual offense from the Submission Squad, but effective nevertheless. Now Gary J with that waistlock applied. Sent into the corner, but able to push off Nick Iggy. Came just flying into that clothesline. Knee on the chest. And Kerry Awful punching Pierre Abernathy in the face to break up that pin. That's one way to make sure that the match will continue. Submission Squad, though, still looking to isolate Nick Iggy. Iggy, though, sending Gary J up to the apron. He caught himself. Able to avoid contact in that clothesline. Reversal of position right here, though. We see the tag. Gary J comes in. Oh, but accidentally struck Pierre Abernathy. Kerry off with the knee. And here comes Iggy with the clothesline. And then we see the kangaroo kick. Now keeping Pierre Abernathy in the corner. Gary J's the legal man. And Team IOU picking up the victory against the Submission Squad, which has to be considered an upset. Thank you guys for checking out episode 24 of All Killer.